Yo, what's up, best girl?
Oh, hey.
Hey, you're the mercenary who helped Claude out of the little jam, huh? I heard you're super strong, so I was kind of picturing you as one of those huge bodybuilders or something. What, like Raphael? Yo, let's go. It's fate. Sorry to disappoint, just your average guy. Too average if you ask me. Talk about a letdown. Ah, come on, I'm just joking. You're pretty easy to talk to, so I couldn't help myself. Anyway, thanks for helping out, Claude. I love you. Okay, let's go talk to all these, house leaders.
Thanks.
Hey, friend, appreciate what you did back there. We'd have been in a world of hurt without you. Regarding compensation, Alois told me to pay you personally. I guess they want to handle it as a church thing. Sorry about that. Hey, as long as I get paid, I don't care who's handing over the coin. You're definitely a mercenary, alright.
Speaking of...
Have you talked with the others here at the camp? I can tell you a little bit about the students in my Golden Deer house. Oh, I already did it. Yeah, I don't think I need to do this. Because I already... This is probably here in case you haven't played Three Houses. Because again, this is like not really... This is like before the time skip, so this is not really a sequel to Three Houses. So maybe this is... I'm gonna just see what happens if I press Hilda.
Hilda's the only daughter of Duke Goneril. Seems like she had a pretty cushy life growing up. Which means she's gotten into the habit of slacking off and making other people do things for her.
Yeah, it sounds like Hilda. Oh, it shows the abilities. Okay, well, I already know what house I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not about to go through all these characters. I'll do the ones I care about, actually.
Don't ever treat her like a child. I made that mistake earlier and she nearly took my head off. But she's clearly the youngest out of this year's students, so I don't get what the big deal is. Just another pampered noble, I guess. Ignatz likes the great outdoors. Definitely more than the rest of us, anyway. He's the second son of a merchant family, but says he wants to be a knight. He doesn't really seem suited for it, though. Maybe his parents are making him do it.
Oh, I may know something about that.
Oh, Marianne? She's Margrave Edmund's daughter, but that's all I know about her. She doesn't interact with the other students at all. I'll admit, she intrigues me. Leone wants to be a mercenary. I bet you two would have lots to talk about. You're both pretty frank, too. I just hope you're not as obsessed with saving money as she is.
Okay, I got it. Now I gotta do all these. They're only like 2 lines.
Have you met him yet? At first, I thought he was real serious and persnickety, but that image shattered pretty quick once I noticed him chatting up every girl in the monastery.
I do not like Lawrence.
He's a pretty friendly guy. Though it'd be nice if he talked about something other than muscles.
Retweet, retweet, or meet.
He comes from a merchant family, but his parents died in an accident. He's had it pretty rough.
I do not like Raphael either.
Say.
There you are. Thanks for your assistance in the previous battle. I'd like to discuss your future if you have a moment. If you find yourself with no place to go after we accomplish our objective, I'm hoping we might hire you on with the Empire. I can promise you'll be handsomely paid, including the work you did today. So, what say you? Decide later.
Let's see.
Appreciate the offer. I'll definitely think it over.
You would.
Please do. Talent like yours is quite hard to come by. It's going to be so hard. Because I already know who I'm picking, but I just want you to know, it's always so hard to choose a house. Because I love 90% of these characters. The only characters I don't like are, in general, like Raphael, Lawrence. I think if there's another. I don't like Manuela, and I don't like Alois. I'm trying to think if there's like a Black Eagle or a Blue Lion character I don't like. No, just those 4. By the by, have you spoken with the others in the camp? If you'd like to tell you, yeah.
Hubert of House Vestre is my attendant. His family is unusual in that they're noble, but lack territory of their own. Hubert is deeply loyal to me, and you can trust him completely. In fact, I imagine he's quite grateful for what you've already done. That's Dorothea Arnault. She's an up-and-coming songstress in a famous Imperial opera company, or she was, at least. For some reason, she abandoned her musical career and enrolled in the Officers' Academy. She has a very magnetic personality, which I'm sure you'll see.
Oh, trust me, I played Three Houses. No, I didn't mean to do this again. Goodbye.
Have you spoken with Ferdinand? One conversation will explain him far better than I can. He's the heir to an influential house, which drives him to excel. But he can be quite the handful sometimes.
Yeah, Ferdinand's not like, he's probably like a mid-tier-ish character. Like, I don't hate him, but he's not one of my favorites.
One of our classmates usually stays holed up in the dormitory instead of coming on these assignments. Her name is Bernadetta. If you bump into her, don't be surprised if she screams and runs away. That's sort of her thing. Caspar is the second-born son of a great and noble house. But as he's not the heir, you might say he joined the academy to make his own way. War and fighting are his sole pursuits, so I bet the two of you will get along just fine. Petra isn't from the Empire. She's the granddaughter of the King of Brigid, which is an archipelago situated off our western coast. You'll find her a quick study, a gifted fighter, and endlessly curious. But always come prepared to talk, because she'll definitely want to pick your brain. Surely you know someone like Linhardt. He's as bright as they come, yet just as lazy as well. That's simply how he is, though. I can't force him to apply himself, but he'll come around, most likely.
As someone who played Three Houses, most definitely. Alright, yeah, these aren't super long, so yeah, you know, we're having a bit of a slow start, but I kind of want to hear all this dialogue. It's a JRPG, it's probably going to be as big as Three Houses, maybe not, we'll see, but you know.
You have my thanks.
Let me begin by first conveying my gratitude to you, Shez. We are in your debt.
Speaking of which,
Also, I examined the map earlier, and the village where you were headed seems to be a little more to the east.
You're kidding.
Wait, east, really? I could have sworn it was west. Well, thanks for the tip. Nearly got myself lost in the woods all over again. Don't be hard on yourself. The forest lacks the markers to easily find one's bearings. It's little wonder you floundered with one to guide you. In any case, you should be able to reach the village with no trouble by merely walking toward the dawn sun.
by the way,
You'll be staying until sunrise, yes? I hope you'll take the opportunity to converse with the others here. Of course, now that I sprung the idea on you so suddenly, you'll likely find yourself at a loss as to whom you ought to speak
how
to.
about this?
On that note, I would be happy to give you an introduction of any Blue Line student.
Dedu hails from the land of Dusker. Perhaps you've heard of it. He tends to keep to himself. But he possesses one of the kindest hearts of anyone I know. I'm proud to call him my vassal. Speak to him, and you'll see why. Felix is the son of Duke Fraldarius. He has a sharp wit and even sharper tongue. But he's a good person at his core. I can attest to that. He has always admired strength above all else in a fighter. I imagine the two of you will make fast friends.
Oh yeah, we promised a duel with each other.
I only first met her here at the academy. She seems a gentle soul with great inner strength, from what I understand. She has traveled far and wide throughout both the Empire and the Kingdom. Perhaps that explains her demeanor. In the far south of Fargus lies a manor by the name of Castle Gaspar. Ash is the adopted son of that castle's lord, Lenato. He's an honest boy, well deserving of our trust. I'd like to get to know him better someday, should the opportunity arise. Annette is the hardest worker in the entirety of the Blue Lion House. She is truly brilliant. I could stand to learn from her single-minded devotion, if only a little. Sylvain is the son of Margrave Gautier. You may have already noticed, but he's something of a womanizer. That may be putting it lightly, but despite his apparent indifference, he possesses great cunning and is quicker on his feet than anyone else here. I've known him long, so I'm well aware.
Alright, final one, Ingrid.
Ingrid is the daughter of Count Galatea, and she is far more gallant than your run-of-the-mill knight. She has ever been straight-laced and diligent, even when we were but children. It is not an uncommon sight to find her scolding Sylvain for his indiscretions.
Looks like Dawn's almost here. Alright. Alright, that took a while, but I think it was worth it. Getting all that, like, you know, refresher on the characters and such. In case anyone's watching this, because this is like, this really feels like, again, it's not a sequel to Three Houses. It's kind of like a reimagining of the game, because obviously, like, I don't know who's gonna be our professor now, because I guess we're gonna choose a house. We're not going to be a professor. I doubt that. So I'm kind of wondering how this is going to play out. Like, obviously, playing Three Houses, I would recommend it. Well, because first of all, Three Houses is a good game, and also because it gives you more insight into the characters. But I could totally see this being like, hey, a way to get into it. Because the game is giving us enough to be like, hey, we won't be totally lost here. Ah, Shez, have you spoken with the house leaders yet? You're leaving, but that won't do. Actually, I was hoping I could ask something of you. Would you hear me out? Yeah, why not?
My sincere apologies for asking this of you. I know you're heading for Remire Village in order to find Gerald's mercenaries, but, well, perhaps you might consider changing your mind and accompanying us to Garreg Mach Monastery instead.
And why would I do that, exactly?
Because you've done us a great service, and we don't have the means in camp to properly reward you. At the monastery, however, we can repay your kindness in full. Also, between you and me, this evening's turn of events was quite the embarrassment for the church. We allowed students of the Officers' Academy out of our sight, and house leaders of great political consequence at that. And then they crossed swords with bandits. If word got out, well, let's just say it would sit poorly with everyone. So you see why we must ensure you are well compensated. Also, there may be some papers for you to sign, perhaps in blood.
This sounds more like hush money than a reward.
Who is, does anyone know Shez's? I just want chat to tell me. I can't figure it out, but I don't think Shez is a voice actor I know. It could be, and I'm just not sure, but I cannot even tell.
This sounds more like hush money than a reward.
It doesn't sound like anyone I would know.
Yes, that's exactly what I told the fool knight who suggested it. Me, I'd just as soon send you on your way, but I fear I'm obligated to escort you back. Anyway, the whole thing will be much easier if you simply agree to come along. Just as a formality, of course.
I think that was a threat. And here I thought he was a big softy. Well, what do you think? Garreg Mach is in the opposite direction of where we need to be, but this man seems rather set on having us accompany them.
You make a poor case, Alois, but I can see where this is heading. I'll come with you to the monastery, but I'm not staying a single minute longer than I have to.
Bless you, my friend. What a noble soul you are. I'd say you saved my bacon, but that would be utterly hammy.
Alois, has anyone ever told you that you're...
Don't. Some truths are simply too painful to bear.
No, this is a truth I think he needs to know.
While I'm no expert, I fear the poor man's heart couldn't handle the shock.
Told me what?
Told you how dashing you are in that armor. Not just any man could pull off that look.
Ah, you like it? Wonderful. I admit I've received no small share of positive comments on it. There's a grand story behind every last ding and dent. Enough to keep me talking for a week. Why, take this one here.
We heard you'll be joining us at Garreg Mach. Perhaps somewhat unwillingly, I might add. I know this wasn't in your plans, but if it lets us get to know each other better, perhaps it will prove worth it in the end.
Oh, trust me, I would love to join. Like, I'm out for it. Shez and, whatever the stupid demon thing is named, I already forgot its name, are not so much against, or not so much for it, rather.
Unwilling or not, we've got a long road ahead, so let's try to keep the mood light.
I hesitate to ask this considering you're only here because of us. Well, are you sure about this decision? The last thing we want is to delay you from your own business. The knights may seem unwilling to bend, but it's not as if you have no say in the matter.
Actually, I see this as just another chance to better myself.
You are more gracious than I. But as I see you've made peace with it, I will leave the matter be.
Yes, that's quite enough chatter. Let's save our energy for the road. To the monastery!
Listen, I know this one's on me. I'm the one who roped you into coming back to camp after all. But I'll find a way to make it up to you, I promise. Thanks, Claude. I know you will.
Hey! Hurry up back there or we'll leave you behind!
You know you've had a busy day when you rub shoulders with the heirs to the Empire, the Kingdom, and the Alliance. I think they're a fascinating group of people myself, but what do you make of them?
I can't believe we agree. Oh, game, don't make me do this. All these are great characters, but I have to be honest with myself.
Claude's a laid-back kind of guy who doesn't really strike me as noble, and I mean that in a good way. Something tells me he's gonna be easy to work with.
Oh, I get to do all of these.
Seems like Edelgard thinks high enough of me. She's got this elegant air about her, but somehow doesn't hold any disdain for mercenaries. It feels like Dimitri's always checking in on me, every chance he gets. He'll definitely make a good king. The kind...
Oh, whoops.
It feels like Dimitri's always checking in on me, every chance he gets. He'll definitely make a good king. The kind who looks after his people.
Of course you only pick up on their rosy qualities. You really are a delight. Have I told you that lately? Still, you'd better pick up the pace before you vex these people any further.
Prologue. 3 Houses.
3 Houses, the name of the prequel. I know it's not actually a sequel, but I'll be calling it that.
In the forest, the mercenary meets a trio of youths, each a student at Garreg Mach's Officers' Academy, and a leader of one of the school's 3 houses. Striking down the bandit chief who attacked the students brings undue attention to the mercenary, who soon arrives at the hallowed gates of Garreg Mach.
Yo, can I choose a house? Very pumped. Yo, that is... We never got this kind of close-up of Garreg Mach that I remember. Maybe it was an animated cutscene, actually, in the very beginning, now that I think about it.
And with that, may I present the mercenary I spoke of?
Greetings. My name is Rhea, and I am the Archbishop of the Church of Seros. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for rescuing our students.
It was nothing. You take a job, you make sure it gets done. That's what a mercenary does.
I see you do not lack for confidence.
However, the reason we summoned you here was not simply to express our gratitude. We have a proposal for you. One made on behalf of the church itself.
What kind of proposal?
Someone told you of the Officers' Academy here at the monastery, yes? We would have you join this academy as a student.
Oh, so I'm gonna be a student. I'm gonna have to join one of the houses. Kind of like the flip-flop. Instead of being a professor here, we get to be a student. That begs the question, though. Who's gonna be the professor?
You what?
Though you are a mercenary, I understand you are not currently beholden to any one particular employer. Also, the students you rescued are close to your own age. Your life could be greatly enriched here.
Or she's heard about our power and wants to keep us on a short leash. And yet she's taking it almost as a given that we'll accept. It's infuriating.
I need to get stronger if I'm gonna do what I need to. If your fancy school can really make that happen, consider me interested.
The Knights of Seros, as well as many other powerful warriors, pass daily through the gates of this hallowed monastery. If strength is what you are after, we can certainly provide it in spades.
They've really talked us into a corner here. I think I see where this is going.
All right, I'm in.
That's the illusion of choice, dude. Like, why press a button to be like, hey, agree, if it's the only thing I can do?
A wise decision. We will do all we can to ensure you do not regret it.
I never regretted it to start with.
I believe you will go far.
If I may, permit me to tell you a bit more about the school itself. The academy is divided into 3 houses and draws in the most promising young talents from every corner of Fodlan. Some are noble-born, while others spring from more humble roots. But within these walls, all are treated as equals. We ask our prospects to spend a year living under the same dormitory roof, so they can challenge each other, work hard, and grow together.
Each of our houses corresponds to one of Fodlan's 3 regions. Edelgard leads the Black Eagle House, which is for students from the Adrestian Empire. Dimitri leads the Blue Lion House, home to students from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, And Claude leads the Golden Deer House for students from the Leicester Alliance.
Dude, this is all deja vu from Three Houses. It's like specifically just like when you're about to choose a house in Three Houses.
We could select a house for you ourselves, but as all of this was our idea, perhaps we should leave this decision to you. You are something of a special case, after all.
So I can join any house I want?
Yes, you have simply to name it.
Well, to add to deja vu from my Three Houses playthrough, I kept it a secret what house I was choosing, but this is obvious. I like all these houses. I never played Blue Lions, but I like the characters in it. I like all the houses, but my heart always goes to Golden Deer.
So you wish to join Claude's Golden Deer. Are you certain?
First playthrough of this game has to be with my favorite house,